Hi, we are having a conversation with Mr. Rob Richie, Executive Director of FairVote. Mr. Richie, what is an instant runoff election?
Well, instant runoff voting is a voting method that differs from the way we typically vote, where we just kind of do an X vote, we only vote for one person. In instant runoff, you get to rank order. You get to put candidates in order of choice, 1, 2, 3, and you can use those rankings to determine who the majority winner is. So you get someone who has support from 50% plus 1 of voters, and you can do that all in one round of voting. You don't have to ask people to vote more than once. You can just take these rankings and get a majority winner from those rankings.
And why are people getting interested in this kind of election or voting?
Well, it speaks to big problems we have with our current system. In the United States, we have a system typically for most of our big elections where you do not need a majority to win. So you can win with, say, 40% of the vote or 35% of the vote, and a big majority of people might vote against you, but split their vote between more than 2 candidates. And an instant runoff system would get a majority system. Another place it's being looked at is places that have a majority rule with a separate runoff, but that creates problems as well because of having to have 2 elections instead of 1.
And why is it that Guatemalans should be interested in it?
Well, Guatemala has a runoff system for president, and it has a non-runoff plurality vote system for mayor. And both of those are situations where instant runoff really speaks to something that might make things better. When you have the vote for mayor, and whoever gets the most votes wins, sometimes they might only have 30%, 25%, and a whole lot of people might not think that's their candidate. And so it speaks to that. And then for the presidential vote, everything else is being elected in the first round. And then all alone, the second round of the vote for president, if there's no majority winner, means that the voter turnout might drop. And you also have situations where the candidates are bargaining, negotiating with other candidates who lost for their support, and behind closed doors, sort of secret talks. And if you do it in one round, there's more transparency. There's a more open process of needing to declare who you're with and how you expect to win a majority vote, and to do it in a more positive way where you don't just be negative against another candidate, but you have to affirm why you should be president and get a majority vote. And I think that that speaks to what I'm hearing in Guatemala about concerns about the current system.
Speaking of concerns, are there any concerns or obstacles that should be considered?
I think so. I think changing the way you vote should be done carefully. One can work with people to see if that process of ranking candidates is going to be difficult. And if it is difficult with one approach, maybe try a different approach. So certainly there's a voter education challenge. I also think that people need to weigh that choice of the value of getting one majority winner in one round of voting, which has some real value, versus the opportunity that a second round runoff creates of having a chance to look at the candidates again and maybe change your mind, which you have that opportunity to do if there's a runoff. But I think those concerns can be met, and the biggest challenge I expect is the voter education one.
Uh-huh. I read once that your ideas will be more welcomed if you say that Benjamin Franklin said them first. Is this being done somewhere else besides the U.S.?
It is, and it's had a long history for national elections in Australia, in Ireland. It's been adopted recently in some interesting different kinds of places. Papua New Guinea, the country north of Australia. Fiji now uses instant runoff voting. And in the United States, it's had a rapid growth of support. Some of our biggest cities now use it, like Minneapolis and San Francisco and Oakland. And we're getting to a point where people really want to try it out at a state level and maybe even a national level. So I expect we'll see a rapid growth of use of it in the United States.
At one point, we may see it in Guatemala.
We may.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being with us.